Hey there, ladies and gents, Mr. D here, and in this video we are going to be talking about radian measure. Now, radians are a different way to measure angles. So far in your entire math career, you have been stuck in degrees. So that's how we've always talked about angles: 70 degrees, 60 degrees, 45 degrees. But there's another way that they can be measured, and that is radians. So what we're going to do today is figure out what is a radian, how big is it, how do we measure things in radians, and how do we bounce back and forth between degrees and radians, radians to degrees. Down the road, when you're in Calc, or Calc 2 or Calc 3, you're going to want to be fluent in radian measure. Today is not that day. You will not be fluent in radian measure, so what we're going to find is as we do these problems, we're typically going to be presented with something speaking radians language, and we're going to translate it into degrees. In case you need it, here is the key with the work for the homework on day 8. For your reference, if you want to pause the video or take a look at anything there you go. And now let's get to vocab. All right. First, a central angle for a circle is any sort of an angle in which the vertex is at the circle's center. The arc that this angle creates is called the intercepted arc. Now, a radian, by definition, is the angle that is created using the measure of the radius as that intercepting arc. So what I mean by that is we take the radius of this circle, and we take the radius there, and we lay it on the edge of the circle. We kind of wrap that around. The angle that is created by doing that is 1 radian. So a radian is an angle measure, and it is the angle measure if you have 1 intercepted arc. Now, let's see about how many radians do we think go around a circle. Well, I'm going to do my darndest to kind of plagiarize this. Right there I have 1 radian, and if I kind of see if I can rotate it. Right there I'd have 2 radians. I'm going to make a little tick mark for myself there. Then if I rotated that, right about there we'd have 3 radians. And then it looks like here I'd have just a little extra. So what I want to know is we have 3 and change radians that make it to 180 degrees. Well, that little 3 and change is about 0.14159 so-and-so, also known as pi. So the big takeaway for today is that pi radians is the same as 180 degrees. Pi radians is the same as 180 degrees. And again, a radian is an angle measure. It's the angle that is created if you took the radius of a circle and laid it along the edge to create an arc. That angle that is created is a radian. All right, so let's get through some conversions. The most common ones we're going to see are the fact that 180 for degrees is equal to 1 pi radian, which then means 360 degrees is twice that, so 2 pi. 90 degrees being pi halves will show up a little bit. 270 showing up as 3 pi over halves still shows up, but not as frequently. So if I were to kind of visualize this, that would be 0, that'd be pi halves. We'd have pi, and then 3 pi halves over here. So if you kind of wanted to have your quadrantal angles, instead of 0, 90, 180, 270, you could say 0, pi halves, pi, 3 pi halves, and then 2 pi all the way around. All right, so let's draw. Let's draw. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to sketch out what each of these are. And I'm going to figure out where do these angles lie. Okay. So here I've got pi fourths. Well, if my denominator that I'm dealing with is 4, what I could do is I could think of this instead of pi fourths, so I could think of this as, pi halves, 2 pi over 4. So basically just rewriting it with a denominator of 4. This would be 4 pi over 4. This would be 6 pi over 4. If I wanted to know where in this range does 1 pi over 4 land, well, it would just be right here in quadrant 1. If I wanted 5 pi over 6, if my denominator is 6, instead of saying pi halves, I can call that 3 pi over 6. So it's going to be past that. If I said 180 is pi, instead of pi, I can kind of unsimplify that and think of that as 6 pi over 6. Well, 5 pi over 6 would be somewhere between these two. It would be in quadrant 2 there. Let's see, number 3. We've got negative 2 pi over 3. Woof. Negative 2 pi over 3. Well, if we're negative, we're going backwards. So I'm going to say that's negative pi halves, that's negative pi. I'm going to think of this one as just a straight up fraction. Negative 2/3, well, it's past 1/2, but not all the way to 1. So negative 2 pi over 3 would be there. 9 pi over 4. Let's see, 9 pi over 4. I'm going to go ahead and think of that as being 8 pi over 4, and then an additional 1 pi over 4. The reason why is that 8 pi over 4 is really just 2 pi. So this thing is going to go around one full rotation, and then an additional pi over 4, and it's going to land somewhere here. So I go all the way around there. Negative 5 pi over 3. Let's see, negative 5 pi. So if I think negative 5/3, that's certainly bigger than negative half. It's bigger than 1. What about 3 halves? So if I wanted to figure out where this thing would lie, I need to figure out, is negative 5/3 more or less than 3 halves? So we're going to be doing a little bit of fractioning there. One way to think of this is make them have a common denominator of a 6. So I could think of negative 5 pi over 3 as being negative 10 pi over 6. I could say negative 2 pi is negative 12 pi over 6. Negative pi halves would be negative 3 pi over 6. This would be negative 6 pi over 6. Up here, this would be negative 9 pi over 6. So if you wanted that common denominator to kind of visualize where that would be. We will learn a conversion factor that'll kind of help us out with that. Last one, I've got 11 pi over 6. Well, I'm noticing that's pretty dang close to a 12 pi over 6. And 12 pi over 6 reduces to just 2 pi. So that is pretty dang close to one full revolution, but not quite all the way there. All right, so now let's get to converting. Because what we're going to find is a lot of people, we're going to struggle at first with fractions, which is okay. But as long as we can convert it to degrees, we'll start to kind of build that familiarity. So let's get to conversions. The basic relationship that we alluded to earlier is the fact that pi radians is the same as 180 degrees. That means I can multiply any fraction I want by pi over 180 or 180 over pi, because both of these things are technically just equal to 1. Since pi and 180 are the same thing, I'm really just multiplying by 1, but I'm being sneaky on how I do it. General rule of thumb, whatever unit you are converting into is the numerator, which means the unit you're converting away from would be the denominator. So we're going to multiply either by pi over 180 or 180 over pi. So here we have some examples. I'm converting from degrees into radians. So if I want to end up with radians, I need to multiply each one of these by pi radians over 180 degrees. That's going to be my conversion factor for every single one of these. Now, I can think of this as being 30 pi all over 180 as one big old fraction. And then from there I can ask myself, hey, does 30 over 180 reduce down? And in this case, yeah, it does. That's just 1 over 6. So 30 over 180 reduces down to pi over 6. Let's do the same thing for 120. I'm going to ask myself, does 120 over 180 reduce down? If so, how? Well, they both end in 0, so I can divide out a 10. I'm going to try to simplify 12 over 8. 12 over 18. They share a common factor of 6, so that'd be 2 pi over 3. 2 pi over 3. Now let's say some of you are calc fans. Here's how we would do it on a calculator. If I wanted to convert 135, negative 135, and simplify that with 180, here's what I could do. 135 divided by 180, and then hit math, fraction, enter, 3/4. So that's how that would simplify down. So negative 135 would be negative 3 pi over 4. 60 would be 60 over 180. 60 over 180 reduces down, that's 1/3, so pi over 3. 225, this one might be a little more challenging. I'd have 225 times pi over 180. Can we reduce down 225 over 180? I would argue, yeah, probably. So I can go to my calculator, I could do 225 divided by 180. And then hit math and fraction. I'd get 5 over 4. So 5 pi over 4. And I'm realizing now as I'm doing this that I don't think my screen recorder is picking up the calculator that I'm doing. So let me write out the steps that I did on the previous one. So I did 225 divided by 180, and then I pressed the math button, and then I selected option 1, which is frac. And that converts your most recent answer to a fraction. All right, negative 300. We're going to think of that as a fraction over 180. It's really 30 over 18 that I'm trying to simplify. They can reduce down by a factor of 6. That becomes 5 over 3, so negative 5 pi over 3. And we're done. Now let's go the other way. I want to convert from radians into degrees. From radians to degrees. So the conversion factor here, since I'm getting rid of radians, I'm going to divide radians out. And I'm converting into degrees, so I'm going to throw degrees up top. Remember, this is just equal to 1. I'm going to do pi thirds times 180 over pi. Now what's going to happen here is I can treat this like one big old fraction. The pi's are going to cancel out. So this really just becomes 180 over 3. And that's going to be 60 degrees. What if I have a numerator? Well, if I have a numerator, the pi's would still cancel out. And now I've got 3 times 180 all over 4. Well, here's kind of the nice thing with fractions, is I can reduce down 180 over 4, and I know that that is 45. So this is really just 3 times 45, and that's 135 degrees. Or you could go to your calculator, do 3 times 180, hit enter, divide that by 4. That works too. Number 3, Negative 5 pi over 3. Well, the pi's will cancel, so this is going to be negative 5 times 180 all over 3. I know 180 over 3 is really a 60, so this would be negative 300 degrees. Onward we go. 7 pi over 6, if I multiply by 180 over pi, pi's cancel. So I'm going to have 7 times 180 all over 6. 180 over 6 is just 30. So I've got 7 times 30. That'd be 210 degrees. Pi over 4. It's technically 1 there. Pi's cancel. 1 times 180 all over 4. Well, that's just 45. And last but certainly not least, negative 4 pi over 3. These pi's will cancel, and I'll be left with negative 4 times 180 all over 3. So if I don't have a calculator, I'm reducing that down. 180 over 3 is 60. So I've got negative 4 times 60. Well, 4 times 6 is 24. Throw a 0 on there. We get negative 240 degrees. All right, that is it for the initial conversion lesson for this. If at any point you needed to get a picture, here you go. Big takeaway for today. If you remember nothing else, remember this fact, that pi radians is 180 degrees, and that's how we can convert one to the other. Whenever we're asked to sketch things in standard position, I realized what I did probably confused some of you. But if you go through this and convert those radians to angle measures in degrees, you'll probably have a little bit more success. It'll probably make a little bit more sense for you. All right, that is it. That is all. You know the drill. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. And as always, good luck, have fun, be safe, roll tide.